hiphopandwrestling.com. How you doing? My name is VSOP.
Stephen Gold, what's up, people?
Stephen Gold, you saw Night of Champions this weekend?
Yes, sir.
If you were to rate the show on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you give it?
I say a 4.
A 4? A 4.
I really enjoyed it, bro. I really, really enjoyed it. It was some good matches, man. It was some good matches. I thought it was entertaining. Just the ending, though. The ending was kind of like, that was a bit crazy, the John Cena match. But it was cool, though, man. I see what they was trying to do. They just wanted to go out with a bang, you know what I'm saying? And keep everybody, like, you know, tuned in. But I enjoyed it.
There definitely was a lot going on in that John Cena match. Matter of fact, we're probably going to start with that one. But having said all that, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was pretty mid. I mean, it was the Night of Champions. They only defended 2 championships. And then the other big stakes were title shots. We're going to talk about that as well. But let's go ahead and start with the main event. That was John Cena versus CM Punk for the undisputed, never seen 17 championship. And CM Punk lost due to shenanigans, which is what we predicted. But we did not predict that much damn interference. That was a lot going on. But
yeah, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
It was it kind of reminded me of it's a famous replay they do like on Facebook. It pops up every once in a while. It was like doing the Attitude Era. Remember that everybody was just coming in the damn ring? Yeah. Like everybody was coming back. It kind of reminded me of that. It's like, yo, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, and it was a night full of run-ins, but that particular match had a lot of them. But the match itself, from bell to bell, I mean, these two guys are like in their late 40s, OGs, and not the most athletic pair of superstars that we have. But those two definitely know how to put a match together. And I think they did good.
For sure.
They worked well together. And for the most part, I was enjoying the match until the ref bump and then the shenanigans started to play. But within the match, Cena hit 3 attitude adjustments, couldn't get the pin. Eventually, the ref got knocked out. And then that music hit. Here comes Seth Rollins and the Goons with the briefcase. And CM Punk was ready for it. And they jumped on CM Punk first, pretty much. And then CM Punk jumped over the top rope, damn near busted his ass trying to do so. And then they gave him a very gingerly chokeslam on the announce table. It seemed like a little bit of a struggle to get him up. But they got him up and they got him through. So here comes Seth with the briefcase saying, all right, this might be a great opportune moment for me to capitalize. So he calls for a ref, Charles Robinson, who ran all the way to the ring until Cena gave him the pounce, the shoulder block of doom, and knocked his ass damn near in the crowd. Now that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
Me too.
So John Cena gets in the ring and he starts to like exchange words with Seth. Seth tries to hit him with the briefcase and Cena counters, puts him into AA. And then at that point, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker start jumping on Cena. And, you know, that was really babyface-ish of Cena, if you will, because the crowd was cheering for him when that happened. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So when Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker start to do their interference, here comes Penta doing his little strut to the ring. Braun goes to meet him halfway. They do a little bit of a brawl. And then he suplexes Penta on the entrance ramp. So after the suplex on the entrance ramp, Sami Zayn's music hit. He came out to even the odds. And then they ended up brawling on the side of the entranceway. And then Penta did a flip or a dive on top of both of them to take them both down. So with all that calamity going on outside the ring, Bronson Reed thought it might be an opportune time to climb the top rope and hit the tsunami. He's going for the tsunami, and here comes CM Punk to push Bronson Reed off the rope. And then Cena gets Bronson Reed up on his shoulders and hits an attitude adjustment on Bronson Reed. Now, that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I can't front. That was pretty dope, especially this John Cena, who's like nowhere near as big as he used to be, but clearly he's just as strong as he used to be. So that's pretty cool.
Hercules.
Right. So right. So shout out to Cena for that.
Yeah.
So then we have this moment where, as like, okay, CM Punk and John Cena have worked together to fend off the goons and his evil minions. And then CM Punk and John Cena, they lock eyes, and the saxophone music starts playing. CM Punk extends his hand to John Cena for a handshake, like, hey, I still see some good in you. We worked well together getting rid of Seth and his minions. And John Cena's like, you know what? Shakes his hand. He says, I love you, man. At least that's what I read when I was looking at reading his lips. It's like, he's like, yeah, I love you, man. And then he did the Elimination Chamber face. And they zoomed in close on that one. Try to hit him with the nut shot. CM Punk ducked it. Try to get him up in the AA. But here comes Seth Rollins back in the ring with the briefcase, knocks Punk out, curb stomps him, and then John Cena throws Seth out and steals the pin. Ain't that some shit? No belt.
It is, man.
No belt shot, no nut shot. Because if you recall, when he had the belt in his hand, he thought twice.
Yeah.
He thought twice and maybe that's why CM Punk was like, all right, maybe you're not the asshole that I thought you were.
Yeah.
Where he felt safe enough, which we found out was foolish, but he felt safe enough at the time to extend his hand to John Cena.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool how they're doing that, man. They're playing with the him maybe turning back babyface. And it's kind of like he's on the ropes of what he should do. You know, like he wants to be the heel, but he just had these moments like in certain matches. He's like, man, am I really doing what I really think I should be doing? You know what I'm saying? You could just tell him he's in his own head thinking about it or whatever. But it's just beautiful story, right? I can't wait to see like what the ending be like. But I don't think he's gonna retire with that belt. I think Cody is gonna get it back. Maybe SummerSlam. I'm not for sure because they're just. It could go anywhere. It could go anywhere, man. But that's a beautiful thing, man. They're keeping us guessing.
Now, you had mentioned that as whenever Cody and Cena pair up, that Seth Rollins was going to come in and get the belt then. Do you still feel that way?
Might happen.
It might happen.
Might happen. And you see how they kind of him and Cena faced off, you know what I'm saying? So he keeping those receipts, man. Seth is keeping those receipts for sure. I think it'd be a cooler story if he went for the undisputed title.
So go for
either title would be cool, but I just think it'd be a more cooler story, like him facing off against Cody, maybe at WrestleMania for that title. I think it'd be super cool.
Seth and Cody at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually pretty dope.
Remember, he's was starting off, he was the one that kind of like welcomed him back in, and it'd be cool to like go against him again for the title.
Yeah, like going full circle at a WrestleMania. That's actually a great story right there. And I think I think barring injury, hoping that Seth does not get hurt between now and WrestleMania, I definitely see him in the main event.
For sure.
And if he's not in a one-on-one match with Cody, it might be against Roman. That's my prediction. One of those two.
Yep.
Because he's going to go on this.
Could be a three-way.
It could be a three-way, but I don't want another three-way. I don't want another one. But
you just think they overplaying? They're playing it too much, that card?
Or at least for they can find something else for other stars to do. Roman don't have to be in the world title match. He wasn't this past WrestleMania, but he was still in the main event in a three-way match, which, it turned out to be awesome. I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying Seth and Roman have not had that one-on-one Mania match yet. Nope. And Cody versus Seth makes sense as well. Cena's going to be gone out of the picture by that WrestleMania. If anything, he could be a special referee and do the Elimination Chamber phase. But I'm predicting if Seth has a successful year-long reign of terror from WrestleMania to WrestleMania and somehow gets his hands on that belt, or if he doesn't, he will be in a World Championship main event next year. Having said all that, Cena sneaks away with the title. Punk's pissed. Seth is pissed. Cena saying you can't see him. Let's talk about all the shenanigans that happened in that match. We had 5 outside competitors in there. We had Seth, Bronson, and Braun in a run-in. We had Sami Zayn come do the save, but still a shenanigan. We'll put it on the shenanigan meter. Penta coming out. And all this is happening while the ref is knocked out from a shoulder tackle.
Yeah.
The music, the crowd pop, the lights. The only thing that was missing was pyro. Yeah. And there was a ref in the back waiting the entire time. He could have came out and like restored order immediately. Now, having said that, this is the wrestling business, right? We suspend our disbelief. I am of the opinion that CM Punk, let me phrase this differently. That match was overbooked like a motherfucker. That match had way too much shit going on. Way more than Travis Scott coming out at WrestleMania. Like way more shit. But only CM Punk and John Cena could get away with that shit.
Yeah.
No other convoluted, overbooked pairing of any two superstars would have worked. It worked there because of who was already in the ring, and everybody got their eyes, like you got to watch your back, watch your front for Seth Rollins, because you never know when he's coming. But then when you bring out all these other motherfuckers, it's like, damn, there's a lot of shit going on to avoid a clean win or a clean loss.
I know. I think they're trying to like, they're trying to spruce it up, but that's the wrong way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, just Cena winning with like the belt shot is just getting overplayed. And it's kind of like, all right, like what else can you do? So I just think that they just trying things now. But I'm with you, man. That was just overbooked. It made no sense. Seth coming in, okay, cool. But everybody else is kind of like, right, what are they doing here?
Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes of all this shit happening.
Yeah.
At the end of the match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only that group could get away with it because I was still entertained. It was entertaining as hell. But when I sit back and look at it, I'm like, damn, that was a lot of shit going on just to avoid CM Punk getting pinned clean in the middle.
For sure. Yeah, it was just too much.
It was a lot. Entertaining, but a lot. And I would advise WWE to not get used to doing that. When John Cena finally does lose that belt, if it's not from a Money in the Bank cash-in, I would like for it just to be a clean victory. The better man won.
Yeah.
Somebody beat the GOAT.
Yeah, me too. And I think it's going to be Cody.
And if Travis Scott is going to be at SummerSlam, I just want him to be in the crowd. Sit in the crowd with Waka Flocka and Quavo and all the other celebrities. I don't want Cardi B coming out there to do shit. I want all celebrities to stay in the back.
Yeah, but you never know, man. Trav might be like pumping some iron, man. So he might come back looking like a luchador or something, man.
Looking like a strung out psychosis. So the match itself, I was entertained. I was glued to my seat. Our predictions were correct, but overbooked for sure. But entertaining as hell. So double-edged sword there. In the King of the Ring finals, Cody Rhodes, who you picked to win, shout out to you. He gets a guaranteed title shot at SummerSlam. So we're going to get Cena versus Cody 2. Are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm on the fence about what's going to happen, though. I don't know. It's just hard to call, man. It's hard to call. But I just got a feeling Cena gonna hold on to that belt to the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
I just got a feeling about that, man. It'll be cool to see Cody get it back, but I think it's gonna be some shenanigans.
I don't want any damn shenanigans.
Sure. I don't either. I just got a feeling that I just think it's too quick for him to get the belt back.
I'm shenaniganed out, man. Shenaniganed out.
Yeah, me too. I want him to win. I really want Cody to win to get that belt back because he came back better than ever, man. The pop has been crazy. I'm just excited for him. I'm excited to like, because we was talking about that him being gone too long. We was worried about was it going to mess with him having the crowd on this side, but you can see that they still rocking with him, bro. They're still rocking with him, man. And I think his pop is even louder than when the first time he had a championship. So it's going to be even crazier the second time we get it.
Well, it seemed like this crowd in Riyadh was a pro Randy Orton crowd. That's what it seemed like to me, at least during that match.
Yeah, it kind of did. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a pro. It seemed like a pro Randy Orton crowd. I mean, granted, they weren't booing Cody, like not vociferously or nothing like that. However, the story of the match was Randy went for a superplex early in the match and then started selling the back. And then Cody started working on the back for the majority of the match. So at that point, when Cody started like working on the back, some of the fans, you could hear some audible boos, but that's what you're supposed to do in that particular instance. So it made sense to me. That was a good story for the match. So what was interesting at the end, when Randy had the opportunity to actually punt kick Cody right there in the opportune moment, just to go kick him in the head and get it over with. He paused. Then he said, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then he missed. And at that point, he lost his advantage. So fast forward a little bit later, he gets frustrated and goes out to the timekeeper area to grab a chair. Try to get in the ring with the chair. The ref grabs the chair. And while the ref is distracted trying to put the chair away, he goes to the turnbuckle to take off the turnbuckle pad and expose that ring. We're going to talk about the turnbuckle pad a little bit more when we start talking about Raw. He exposes the turnbuckle, tries to ram Cody into the turnbuckle, but Cody instead reverses and throws Randy in ribs first, and then gets a crossroads and the pin. Poetic justice, kind of, when you look at it.
Yep.
Fell for his own trap. It didn't work out for him. And at the end of that match, Randy looked pissed. He looked very pissed. And he stayed out there for a little while as well during Cody's coronation. Randy was still out there looking mad. And I thought maybe he was going to jump in and hit him with that RKO, but that didn't happen. Cody gave him his props, held the crown up high, said he's going to get that belt back. So what did you think about the match overall?
I enjoyed it, man. Both of those men definitely left their hearts in that ring, man. Very entertaining. I like the ending. You know, the ending was, like you said, poetic justice or whatever. He was trying to, like, because, you know, going back to what he said in the interview, he was like, I'm going to do anything to get that belt back. And I'm just letting you know, you're my brother, but I'm going to do what I got to do. But you could tell he was kind of like on the fence about it. You know, like you said, he was about to do the punt kick and he paused. He was thinking about it. He's like, damn, do I really want to do this? Right. This is kind of fun. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that pause caused him to lose the match or whatever. And then he tried to, you know, again, be dirty, and then it backfired on him, whatever. Right. So, yeah, but very entertaining match, man. Very excited to see Cody at SummerSlam and see if he brings it home again, man, or whether it's gonna be like somebody comes back and they'll tell him who, maybe Roman, or maybe it might be some other kind of like crazy shenanigans. But like I said, it is getting played out with the shenanigans, man. But I think they're just doing it to keep us guessing. You know, they don't want it to be too predictable or whatever. Right. But, yeah.
At least that match didn't have any shenanigans, so I appreciate that.
I like that too.
Yeah. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. So it was. I won't complain about that. So my next question then, because I don't know if you've heard this, at a fan expo event, Cody had said that his babyface run is coming to an end. Did you hear that? Or did you hear about him saying that? So my question is, first, let's start with Randy. Randy had that look in his eye. He had that look of frustration. He really wants to get that 15th championship, and he said he'll go to any lengths to get it. Just to get a shot, he was willing to punt his brother in the head. But do you think that Randy is going to turn heel or just soak it up and keep it moving?
Oh, no. I think he about to start being reckless, man. I think right now he on some shit like anybody can get it. And it's just going to be out of nowhere or whatever. Any and everybody can get it, man. Like, it's going to be those random RKOs out of nowhere for like the next few weeks until like a situation pops up to where he does put himself in position to get another title shot. I think Randy about to turn up, man.
I won't necessarily consider a bunch of RKOs out of nowhere to be a bad thing. We love them RKOs.
Me neither.
So, I mean,
I love it.
Why even turn heel? Just RKO everybody just for the fuck of it.
Yep.
Get out the way.
Until you get you another title shot, man.
For real. So Randy.
Until Nick Aldis is like, stop it. Calm down. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, he should RKO Nick Aldis every single week.
Until he gets a title shot.
until he gets a title shot.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
That would be fun. So, yeah, Randy, he's teasing it, but it may not happen. And maybe it shouldn't happen in the event that Cody does decide that he's ready to, sell his soul to the final boss, which is the only way that I could see from a storyline continuity standpoint, him doing a turn is to sell his soul to The Rock. But why even do that? Right now, you are the top babyface and merchandise seller. I think it would be, I don't think it would be a great move. Now, I'm open to them doing it because they've done plenty of turns. That's the business. Somebody got a turn every single year. However, Cody's on a different level. That's a different level. He is the top guy in the company. And between him and Jey Uso, the kids, the merchandise, that would be a major blow. It might be entertaining, Cody coming out with the suit and the belt and being, corporate or whatever. But I know he can pull it off. But do you want to see it? Is that something that is that something that you want to see?
It'd be cool as hell. I definitely want to. I would, maybe not now, but maybe later sometime. See him go full heel, maybe dye his hair black.
Go back.
Do some wild shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be super cool. Maybe get like a 5 o'clock shadow like Hulk Hogan had coming out. Get the same theme, just get everything, but just come out just being mean, man. But I just think right now he has too many people invested into him with that babyface role. He has Wheatley vodka. He got like the workout belts and stuff like that. And him turning heel, that could I don't know, it just wouldn't fit.
I have no idea how their merchandise commissions go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it would take a big dip if he was to go that route. Granted, he'll still sell T-shirts, but a majority of the merchandise, at least from action figures and weight belts and things like that, are the children and going asking their parents to get them the Cody action figure for Christmas and things of that nature.
Yep.
And when you have an opportunity to have like a baby face like Cody, to where he's, what's the word I'm looking for? The embodiment of that kiss the babies, shake the hands type of baby face, the face of the company, to replace John Cena and doing Make-A-Wish Foundation type stuff, being on talk shows and things of that nature. To have him do a 360, again, I would love to see it. It'll be entertaining, but right now,
it would.
Right now, I don't know about right now because you may never get this chance again to have someone that clean cut at the top for years and the fans are still behind him at least 90%.
Yeah, like you said, there's no need to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no need for him to turn heel. Like now, if shit won't go right, like he won't get in pops like he gets now, like, all right, let's figure something out. Let's do something that's going to get the fans emotionally involved again. But right now, they all love him. You know what I'm saying? He's, excuse the comparison, but he's kind of like the new age, like Hulk Hogan.
Yes. I mean,
he's that that type of stature now. Yeah.
Right. Like a Stone Cold type of babyface level. We have not had that. We didn't have it in the John Cena era. We didn't have it in the Roman Reigns era. So I think it would be foolish to flip that switch unless they do it smart. Now, doing heel turns for the sake of shock, I'm not really with that, especially if it's going to affect the business overall. But let's say, as you mentioned, let's say the fans started to gradually turn on him show after show after show to the point where he's going against heels and the heels are getting cheered and he's not. Now, analyze that, look at that. And then, is that a trend? Is that real heat or fans just doing it to troll? Sometimes you got to look at that as well. Because sometimes fans just want to be part of the show and they'll just say some dumb shit for the fuck of it. But if that's true heat that you're getting versus the people you're supposed to be feuding with, especially the heels, then maybe do a pivot based off that. Like I think they should follow the reactions. And I'm not talking about like
Agreed.
social media. If you were to look on social media, you could probably find millions of Cody haters. Now I'm talking about who's in the arena booing and yaying. And that
act accordingly.
Exactly.
Right, accordingly.
Exactly. React. Whatever the crowd wants, you give it to them. Because the crowd doesn't know what they want. I bet if Cody started turning bad and hitting everybody with the crossroads out of nowhere, at some point fans will start cheering. I know I would be entertained by it, but I like heels.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go figure. I don't think there should be
the bad guys, man.
I was talking about this with Nick this past weekend, and I was like, do we even need to have a clear divide anymore? Just let the fans rock with whoever they want to rock with. Yeah. And I'll bring that back up a little bit later when we talk about Raw, because we had a really good example with that in that tag team match. But right? But yeah, so if Cody was to turn heel, which they shouldn't do, but I'm cool with it if they do. If he was to turn heel, but at that point, who's going to carry the torch? Who's going to take the place of Cody? Can you even think of who that would be right now? That's not like an OG, like a Randy Orton.
LA Knight.
On a Cody level?
I think so.
Tell me more.
I think he has a lot enough pop, man. I think he has a charisma. You know, the interest, man, you know, like people like they go crazy over it. Like everybody be saying, yeah, you know, when he's talking.
Yeah.
Between him and Jay.
Yeah.
Him and Jay.
I was thinking Jay. Sammy's up there, but he ain't up there. Now the other obvious one would be CM Punk.
Yeah.
But again, CM Punk is an OG. Right?
Yeah, he's an OG, man. He ain't about to be in for, you know, too much longer. He just kind of like, you know, doing his thing and gonna make his exit, you know what I'm saying?
Who knows?
I think he'll probably win that title one more time, and then he's probably good.
Yeah.
He'll probably just pop in every once in a while.
Right. He might become like an attraction. So I'm not sure like how much he has in his tank. Again, you saw him trying to jump during that Cena match. He ain't getting off the air. He ain't getting that much air with that elbow, that heel kick. Could barely do that jump over the rope, that dive over the rope. Like, but he still knows he still knows how to piece together that story in the ring. I'll give him that.
But he does, man. He still know how to talk too.
That is his major selling point is talking. If CM Punk became a manager, that would be great. The problem is CM Punk, his temperament, he wants to fight everybody his damn self. So that would probably he would outshadow the talent he's supposed to be representing. But to be a mouthpiece,
he fucking would. He would. You're right.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer CM Punk's going to be around. Same thing for Randy Orton.
Yeah.
All of them are like 45 or over.
They up there, man.
They up there.
I love them, man, but they up there.
They're taking care of their body, but at some point they got to slow down with the punishment. AJ Styles is another option, but I will put him on the same level as a Sami Zayn, except Sami Zayn at least AJ's won a championship. Sami hasn't. And he still has to get his flowers too. Who knows when that's going to happen?
To my AJ?
Sami,
yeah, I agree with you, man. I would love to see him win that title at least one time.
Yeah.
I figure like he's definitely put in the work. He's definitely he's shown that he can have depth and character when he was on rocking with the Bloodline, and then separated from the Bloodline and still had, you know, popularity. And he's just an amazing talent. And everybody speaks highly about him. I was watching Cody's podcast. He was talking to Kevin Owens, and they were just talking about like how cool of a guy, like, you know, and professional Sami Zayn is. So I would say in the near future, maybe I don't know how it's going to happen, but I think he does deserve a story to where he gets that belt at least one time.
That would be nice. That would be great.
It would.
That would be great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if Cody was to turn heel, hypothetically, Cody turns heel and Randy Orton is still face, he would probably be the number one guy on SmackDown. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Randy and LA Knight would be the top two guys on SmackDown. Yeah. And Roman, when Roman's there. So that's the thing. Roman's not around.
But is he SmackDown, though?
Roman's a SmackDown star.
He is?
Yeah.
Because he was popping up on Raw, like, you know, remember when Cena and Seth had that match and he came through on Raw? So I thought he was a Raw superstar right now.
Nah, he was just pulling up to set up that WrestleMania match. Keep in mind that CM Punk went to SmackDown to build his match with Cena. Seth's going from show to right. Like,
fact.
The top stars go where they want to go. Like LA Knight's showing up on Raw.
They can float.
Right. So if LA Knight's going to be a permanent Raw guy, then that leaves another gap on SmackDown in terms of who's going to be a face. Now, the good news is that they can actually make and decide who that's going to be based on who the crowd is feeling. But in terms of what we're seeing, what's being presented to us, ain't that many who can like hold it down on a Cody level. Not that I can think of. At least not on SmackDown. We go over to Raw. Who we got over there? Jey Uso, he could be that guy.
Yeah. And like I said, LA's on Raw now, right?
We don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, those are my picks too. You know, LA and Jay.
LA and
Jay. That's it.
Yeah, LA and Jay. If anybody's still listening, go in the comment section and let me know who you think the top faces are for WWE right now. Who could take the torch from the Cody Rhodes if Cody decided to turn heel, which again would be a very interesting storyline depending on how they do it. I would love to see it be tied with the Final Boss. The Final Boss storyline. The problem is that Rock's not consistent enough for us to even rely on that to go through the way it needs to go through. But think about a heel Cody being chased by a babyface Roman. When Roman decides he wants to show up for work.
I think, well, damn, he's on SmackDown, right? They said Roman's on SmackDown. But I would like to see Roman go for the World Heavyweight title.
He should. I mean, he should.
He's already had the Undisputed title already. I would like to see how it looks him, you know, OTC coming to the ring with that World Heavyweight title around his waist. I think it'd be super fucking cool.
Well, as long as he
even got to go on a long reign with that, you know what I'm saying? I just think it'll spruce things up a bit. You know, we don't want to see the same story. We've seen him have that title before. Let's see him have a different title.
Absolutely. On top of that, to be a Grand Slam champion and say you had every single accolade possible, right?
That part.
And it'll just spice things up. You know, Gunther versus Roman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
That'll be good.
Hell yeah, right? I'm for that.
I think WWE's in a good place with heels.
They are.
It's just faces. And we have to keep in mind, at any given time, these guys and gals put their bodies on the line. Accidents happen, injuries happen, and it can put a monkey wrench in all plans. So they got to have some reserve in terms of like other stars that they're trying to build up. And it's the same motherfucker fighting each other over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. Do you think El Grande Americana is a face or a heel?
Which version? The Chad Gable version or the Ludwig version?
You saw that too, right?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Just the character itself. I think people start to fall in love with it, man. I think they start to like him.
All I know is this will be the opportunity for Ludwig to show us how entertaining that he can be, because he does such a good job of being hateable. And then when Chad Gable does come back, and we got two El Grandes, and one just happens to be a foot taller than the other, that's pretty entertaining to me. So it is. So I find the El Grande Americana, Americano, is it Americana or Americano? Americana. El Grande Americana gimmick to be very entertaining. And I think he's a heel.
You think he's a heel?
I think he's totally a heel. He's totally a heel, but he's an entertaining heel. But he's a heel for shizzle.
It's growing on me too. Like at first I'm like, man, I'm tired of this shit, but now it's kind of like it's growing on me.
At WrestleMania, we were predicting that it was going to end there. And then we were talking about, well, maybe he'll end it with Ray and like a mask versus mask type of deal.
Yep.
Right. But now Chad's hurt. So here's Ludwig to see what Ludwig can do.
Yeah.
I have an open mind.
Me
got
too.
an open mind. Anything that you can do to switch things up, like take a chance, roll the dice. Night of Champions was a bunch of safe bets.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of safe bets. But if they're betting on Cody going heel, I just hope they do some good planning to make it happen. But at the end of the day, maybe it won't happen. Maybe Cody was just saying that to get some headlines, get some, right?
Yeah.
Because why would you say that out loud to begin with? They're exposing the business too much. Even that damn podcast. Didn't Kevin Owens just try to kill you?
I know. But I'm with you, man. But I think they're,
and I get it.
They know now. They know now that they know that people understand what wrestling is. You know what I'm saying? They know it's writing. You know what I'm saying? But I just think they kind of also want to show people that these are people I respect too. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. We act on screen and we might hate each other, but don't get it twisted. These are people that I really rock with, who I respect and who I learned a lot from. So I think that's just kind of, they want to give each other flowers, you know what I'm saying? So I think they're just trying to keep a balance in between entertainment and then reality.
Well, also, I think because there's a million wrestling podcasts out there, including this one, they're like, well, fuck it, we're going to capitalize on this our damn self. We can
True, that part too, a business thing too, yep.
Right. They can tell us, we can tell our story way better than you can because we're the ones actually doing it.
Yeah,
right? Or control the narrative. But don't go on the podcast as a guest and be in character.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do
well, that. Well, look, at least they did it after the feud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and at least they did it months after the feud. Because when did that feud end? Royal Rumble, pretty much? Yeah, it was over.
When did they fight?
They had that street fight, right?
Yeah.
Kevin went through that ladder.
Yeah.
Alabama Jam on the Royal Rumble? That was Royal Rumble, I believe, because Elimination Chamber was Sami and Kevin, and that was Kevin's last match, was the Elimination Chamber. They had that lights out match, the unsanctioned match.
Flies, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That was in the winter.
Don't even seem like it was that long ago.
Doesn't even seem like it. But yeah, so and I assume when Kevin does come back, which will probably be maybe by next WrestleMania, because I think he's just now getting ready to get that surgery. That's going to have him out at least a year.
Yeah, man, that's just crazy. He was just talking about that too, talking about how they wanted to try to let it heal on its own. Then they was going to do the surgery, and he said he was as time went by, he said he was feeling better, and then he said one random day he was like all the pain just randomly came back. And so he was like, he is so ready to have that surgery. I was like, damn, I can only imagine.
Yeah, man, that is horrible. We're so thankful.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens put himself through a lot of punishment. Him and Sami both. Very thankful for what they were willing to do to sacrifice their bodies to entertain us. I really appreciate that. I hope he gets well, has a speedy recovery. And most likely when he does come back, he'll be a face.
Yeah.
He'll be a face. So he could carry the torch. I don't know on a shake the hands and kiss the babies level, but
no. I would say on a not comparing him to Stone Cold, but it's kind of like that kind of esque.
Yeah. Like
that same type of, you know what I'm saying? Like Stone Cold really, I mean, he was a baby face, but at the same time, he was still like he was a badass, you know what I'm saying? He didn't follow the rules and shit, but it just worked out for him. And I think Kevin Owens can be that same thing.
Yeah, I think Stone Cold is like the first ever that I can
heel
recall.
Face.
Yeah, the tweener.
Yeah, neutral. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see.
He beat everybody ass. Only time I think he was like full, but still, he was still doing his own thing when he was going against a corporation. He was kind of like full babyface, but it was still kind of like he still was Stone Cold, like he was talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. They got a whole another 6 months to figure things out going into next year. But I just don't want to see the same old for the remainder of the year. Come on, let's switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All
like
right.
I said, hey, WWE, holla at your boys, man. Like, holla at us.
Oh, to be the riders?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. So let's talk about Jade Cargill. She beat Asuka to become the queen of the ring, so she gets to break room applause. However, ever, that match was not good.
It wasn't. She's still growing. She has a lot of room to grow. She's still, I'm sure she has some real good people in her corner that's, kind of like giving her feedback and letting her know. And I think, with time and a little bit more molding, she's going to be an amazing WWE superstar. I mean, she already has the charisma. She has the athleticism, but it's just like, the ring technique that she just got to kind of just tweak a little bit more. And, but practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
What I say? Practice. It's all about that practice, man.
Yeah.
She's going to be good. She's going to be good, man. She's getting better. She's getting better and better. Like when she first came in, you definitely can say, oh, yeah.
She's pretty
she
green.
Been here that long. But now, and I think that's why they was pairing her with like the Biancas. You know what I'm saying? That was like, well, watch this, like on some more mentorship type thing.
Yeah. I like Jade. I like Jade a lot. She has superstar written all over her. She has the aesthetic. She has the presence. She has everything. The skills, though, out of a 1 to 5, she's probably like at a 2. And she's got to work on her timing. She has to work on her selling because she's she's an Amazon. So she needs to have a specific type of match. She needs to be tossing and throwing people all over the ring. And she can do that because she has the power, the strength. She is athletic. She's got to work on the ring
technique.
Work on that ring technique because that's what's going to turn the fans against her. Now, granted, they were not treating her that well in Saudi. If you notice, she wasn't really getting the love that I thought she would have gotten. They were actually more behind Asuka. And Asuka did her best to carry her to a match, but when it was all said and done, that crowning moment, that crowning achievement had a little smear of doo-doo on it because
it did.
The crowd just wasn't with her. Now, when she comes back to the United States, I think she'll get the respect and admiration that she deserves. But I'm afraid that if they overpush her, that might lead to a certain group of fans in the arena to get louder and louder in terms of like booing her and whatnot. And we want to avoid that because I'm of the opinion that at SummerSlam, when she gets her title shot, she's going to get that title. She's going to win that world championship off Tiffany Stratton. Will there be some Naomi shenanigans? I don't know. I would like to see that, but I think she's going to get that title. I think this is going to be her first title shot will be the title shot. But what do you think?
I think it's too early.
Too early?
Too early. I think she's going to come close and then it's going to be some shenanigans. But they're just going to be doing that to plant that seed. And then after that, like, they're going to be prepping her. I think they want a Jade Cargill type character to win that championship on the grand stage. You know what I'm talking about, WrestleMania.
So you think she's going to get that WrestleMania main event?
Yeah.
So SummerSlam is the tease, but WrestleMania is like the main course?
Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
Okay.
Like I said, this, because like you said, what you were just talking about too. So after she like loses at SummerSlam, they really going to start prepping her, pairing her with certain superstars so she gets better and get more equipped so that when she does get it, people are like, okay, she deserves it, and they won't have anything to say about her ring technique, So this is kind of like the review. SummerSlam is going to be a review for her before the promotion.
Hopefully.
And they're like, all right, we'll see you back in April.
I really want to see the match between her and Bianca.
Me too.
That's what I want to see. I think that match would probably be excellent. Yeah.
Maybe that'd be the feud before she get a chance too.
Yeah. Between her and Bianca, the two athletic Amazons, you know what I'm saying? The brick houses. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. I want to see Jade excel. I want to see her win.
Me too.
I know she's dedicated. And again, there's no one out there like her right now in terms of like having that it factor.
Yeah.
We just got to get it right in the ring. That's it. Just get it right in the ring.
Oh, and shout out to her wearing the Storm outfit too.
Yes.
That was super fire. Super, super fire.
That was dope.
She's definitely she manifested that, man. Marvel, y'all need to holler at that woman.
Yeah.
Let her be a Storm variant in one of those movies.
Yeah.
That was fire, Jade.
That was dope. So congratulations to Jade. Congratulations to Jade, Queen of the Ring. So she's a tag team champion and a Queen of the Ring winner. So all that's left is some singles gold. But you're saying grandest stage of them all, SummerSlam is your first shot, but not the one. I'm predicting that she's going to get it at SummerSlam, but Naomi won't be too far behind.
Proceed with caution.
Proceed with caution. I'm surprised she didn't show up in Saudi.
Me too. I was surprised too.
I was very surprised.
Right. But it'll make more sense for her to pop out at SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is what they're like really pushing right now, especially since it's the first time it's a 2-night event.
Yeah, I hope they
got to save the surprises for like the big event. Not saying that the Saudi event won a big event, but like I said, SummerSlam has never been a 2-night event. So
yeah, I think
they're saving it.
It's definitely with a 2-night event. There's definitely going to be some level of title change from somebody. Someone's walking in there to champ and not leaving that way. And I think there'll be at least one cash in, at least one Money in the Bank cash in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So congratulations to Jade Cargill. Represent. Sola Sikoa, you mentioned in the group chat that you now are a believer. So tell me more about why you're rocking with Sola Sikoa now.
I'm going to tell you what did it for me. It was simple, man. When he started being, adding the comedic aspect to his formula.
Right.
Like he was, mocking Jacob,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when he was doing that.
Yeah. And who was he mocking? He was mocking at the Money in the Bank match. Who was he mocking? I forgot who was mocking.
Penta.
Yeah. And he was mocking Penta. I'm like, you know what? He's kind of funny.
Listen.
And then that did it for me. I was like, he was good. Remember I said I liked him in that match? And then this Jacob Fatu match, which I chose Jacob. But after he did win, I'm like, you know what? It makes sense. Solo had a lot of opportunities that he didn't capitalize on. So it would make sense for him to capitalize on this opportunity so that character can have some kind of prestige or whatever, because he was just losing way too much. And he was always, it's kind of like he was consistently the butt of the joke.
Right.
And so, but here's my thing.
Okay, hold on. Let me put the camera back on you. You clapped your hands. Tell me about your thing. What's your thing?
Here's my thing. The next Samoan y'all need to bring on this show is Zilla.
Yeah.
It better be Zilla. I'm not hating on these other guys, but I know my man Zilla has been putting in work. My man Zilla is charismatic. My man Zilla looks great. He's young. And I think he would definitely add something to WWE. He got that certain, that energy just like Jacob does.
Zilla Fatu.
Bring my man Zilla to WWE, man. Stop playing.
Whose kid is
Zilla
that?
Fatu.
Whose kid is that? Is that Jacob's brother?
It's Umaga's son.
I thought Jacob was Umaga's son.
I don't think Jacob is Umaga's son. I think I forgot their relation, but Zilla Fatu, that's Umaga's son. He looks just like him.
He's only 25 years old.
Yeah, and he looks great, bro.
I saw him wrestle. I forgot what show it was. 25. His parents, Umaga. Mm-hmm. Okay, so who's Jacob Fatu's dad? Oh, Sam Fatu. Okay. So they're cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Shout out to that family.
Man, getting money, and
I mean, talk about family business.
Yeah, that shit's fire, bro. That's so fire, man. I mean, and it's not like they're all talented.
Right.
They're all talented, man. They all have personality.
Yep.
And you could tell like they definitely mold each other to like be ready for this business if they choose to be in this business. Because I don't know if you saw the interview, it was like a Jay. He said when he told Rikishi that he wanted to get in business, he was like, "You sure?" And then he said Rikishi took them to the gym and whooped their ass, bro. So you sure you want to get in this business?
I mean, yeah, but it's paid off well for them. They fed their family for 50 plus years. I mean, that's pretty dope. Yep. That's very dope, actually. So shout out to them.
It's super dope, man. Hats off to them, man.
So yeah, I mean, Zilla, it's only a matter of time before Zilla gets up there, right? But we saw the debut of Hikuleo, which is Tangaloa's brother. Tangaloa and Tama Tonga's brother. So now he's in the fold. So now they're not the bloodline anymore, but it's still a big group of mean Samoans wrecking shit in WWE. Now, you did predict that Jacob Fatu was going to win, but you did say in your prediction it would make sense for Solo, but Jacob's that dude right now. And Jacob still is that dude, but I don't know who his backup's going to be unless it's Jimmy. Maybe it's Jimmy.
I think so.
Yeah, probably Jimmy and maybe Azilla. Maybe that will be the entry point for Zilla to come in as a good guy. He's very, very young though. He's still young. He's still got to learn the ropes.
I think, mark my words, I'm putting this in the universe, and I think this was going to happen. I think Big Jimbo will be the one to take that title off of Solo.
Man, you have lost your motherfucking mind.
Watch. That's what I tell you.
We're going to have to start doing like a tally of bets.
They kind of planted the seed.
You know what? Actually, Gold,
Jimmy was talking to...
I apologize, Gold. That actually makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Let me hear your theory.
They need something to bring him back up. Yeah. They need something, bro. Because he's been catching too many fucking L's. They need something that makes sense to bring Jimmy Uso character back up. And I say that because if you go back to, I think he was talking to Jacob, was it last week on SmackDown? He was like, man, I appreciate you stepping up to Solo. He said, I should have done it a long time ago. I'm like, So he gonna step in. Yeah. And I do think it's gonna be like a little storytelling between, I think him and Jacob gonna, team up and do some tag team matches between them. But eventually it's gonna be Jimmy versus Solo for that title.
Yeah, at first I shut that shit down because I was like, come on, man, Jimmy, get the fuck out of here. But now when I thought about it, if he was to get some singles gold, why not get it off a little bro who's been acting a fool for years? That actually makes sense, and that's a built-in good storyline right there for Jimmy Uso, for Jimmy Uso's first singles title. I'm actually with that. I like that idea. That was a good one right there. I'm sorry I shut that shit down. I got this.
Hey man, we love this shit, bro. We think about it before we want to be talking.
I just get triggered when you talk about Jimmy Uso doing anything.
I know y'all people hate Jimmy so much, man.
That actually is a good idea. So all right. So Solo won with lots of shenanigans. Lots of shenanigans. The match itself, it was cool. Solo, the thing about Solo, and I had said this in the group chat, is that Solo wrestles like he's damn 7 feet tall, like really slow. Very, very slow. And I was talking to Nick about this. I was like, all right, I thought it was going to start off fast because, you got to keep up with Jacob. So, he hit him with the sneak attack right in the beginning before the bell even rang. He gave him the Uranagi on the apron and the Uranagi on the floor. I was like, all right, this match is lit. And then Chinlock City. I was like, come on, bro. The match itself, did you enjoy it?
I did. I enjoyed it, man. But I'm just like, like I said, man, all these, it's like, how many more people you going to bring in? Like, but I guess that's just the thing right now, it's keeping it exciting, not hating it all, man. But I'm just saying, man, I didn't know who the guy was. What's his name again? The new Samoan?
Hikuleo. They're probably going to call him Tala Tonga. That's the rumor. Tala Tonga. Okay. So you have Tala Tonga, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa. They're all the sons of Haku. So I got to go do
my research and look up some of his matches because I'm just kind of like, who is this?
Well, I
was like lost.
So he was in New Japan. He was wrestling in Japan for a while. And then he got signed by WWE like over a year ago. He has just been sitting around Some people say he was on the shelf because he wasn't even wrestling on NXT. But he's been signed for a minute. So here he is. Had a good time. A big dude, tallest guy they got because Braun Strowman's gone, right? So now we got a big fella to come in and be that muscle and protect. It'd be a great way for Solo to hold on to that belt with all the protection that he has around him. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what he does on Friday. But what were you about to say?
Like I said, looking like War Games about to be Bloodline versus Bloodline 2, man.
I was actually thinking about that yesterday. Like, what would War Games be? Which, by the way, is in San Diego this year. But of course, it's after Thanksgiving, so I don't know if I can go. But I was thinking that Seth Rollins' faction would be in War Games.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
because you think they're going to add somebody else, right?
Right. I think. Well, yeah, because Paul had mentioned something about Plan B. If you caught that, what the hell is Plan B?
Yeah.
Plan B sounds like another person to me.
Yeah.
Right. But
it does.
But they still need 5 for War Games. So I don't know if that stable is going to grow to that level. But right now, if they did War Games tomorrow, the Bloodline, they're already set.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They should come up with a new name. It's time to kill the whole Bloodline thing.
Yeah.
Just kill it, give it a new name. However, in every single Samoan that's debuted since Solo has taken over, they've all been in some type of run-in. No one's just walked through the entrance ramp like, hey, I'm Zilla Fatu. It's like, nope, Zilla's probably going to be a run-in as well. That's what they do. They run in and they...
Who was that? Wait a minute, who was that?
Right.
That's such and such.
That's such and such a son. They just run in and wreck shit. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
But I thought the Jacob Fatu championship experiment was going to last a little bit longer. It didn't.
Me too.
But that's cool. That's fine. Jey Uso's title run didn't last that long. Jacob Fatu's title reign didn't last that long. But they did their thing while they were in it. And Jacob probably has some bigger things on the horizon. And if he stays face, you had mentioned this when we spoke last week, that altercation with Braun, I got to see it. I got to see these two crazy motherfuckers go at it. So.
Can do it at SummerSlam.
Why not? Why not? They won't. They won't, but.
You don't think so?
Hell no. They ain't going to do what we want.
I mean, they got 2 nights, bro. They need to put some kind of, they got 2 whole nights.
So Sami Zayn took on Karrion Kross. It was just in my mind, it was just like a Monday Night Raw main event.
Thank you. It could have been on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, for sure. I
really don't have much to say about this match that I haven't said in the video that I'll be dropping later this week. But this was not a showcase for Karrion Kross. So he finally got a chance to be on a pay-per-view, a PLE, excuse me. And he's in the ring with a bona fide show stealer type of contender, but that match was mid. It was pretty mid.
Yeah.
They could have did that on TV. Especially when you think about it, like the other championships were defended on SmackDown. This is the Night of the Champions pay-per-view, or PLE, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to say the match wasn't a dud. It wasn't like terrible. It just was nothing special.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Sami get that pop, come out, represent. He's Syrian. Well, he has Syrian heritage. So I thought that was a dope moment for him. But Karrion Kross, I mean, the match was just slow. It wasn't exciting. And I know
Syrian heritage is a blend of indigenous elements and foreign cultures
you hear that?
Have ruled the land over the course of thousands of years.
They're spying on us. I don't like that shit. But thank you for the explanation. But yeah, that's crazy. All right, sorry. That was Siri, y'all.
Yeah, I heard her.
Oh, you know what? Maybe because when I said Syrian.
Yeah, that she might have thought you said, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I digress. The match itself, I thought Karrion Kross would have showed out, at least beat Sami's ass a little bit more. I mean, he hit some moves, hit some suplexes, Death Valley Driver, but he was still just slow and plodding. It wasn't entertaining. However, also it could be the crowd was coming down from the match before it. the street fight, which was crazy entertaining. So possibly that could have been it, but they totally could have did this match on Raw. There was no need to buy those extra plane tickets. Now, I ain't trying to shit on Karrion Kross. We're rooting for Karrion Kross, but this wasn't it. His match with AJ Styles, it wasn't it.
Yeah, he don't need to keep losing, man. You got to make something make sense. You know, like what's the angle? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like let's figure this out, because you've been stretching this out too long with my man getting his ass whooped.
Right. I'm starting to wonder, like, what is the whole purpose? Even his attack last night.
Exactly.
I didn't care. Did not care at all. You know, but I digress. So I ain't got much to say about this match. It was baboogie.
Mid.
All right. Now this match right here, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. For me, I like this match the most. This was the match of the night for me.
Yeah.
This match was lit. These two work very well together. And I love that they just went to it for that. I mean, they started up like with some holds and shit at first, collar and elbow tie-ups and shit, but that didn't last long. Once Rhea got entangled on those ropes and the kendo stick shots to the body started, that match just took off from there. And I enjoyed it a lot. The power bomb.
I guess, yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you about to say, Gold?
I mean, because I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the power bomb spot through the announce table hood near the timekeeper area. Yeah. That shit was crunchy. I thought she was going to power bomb her on the floor or some shit, but yeah, threw her through that announce table hood. That was dope. The way they used the steel steps, that was cool. Of course, Roxanne came out, which is what we predicted. She came out for the Shenanigans, which I thought that might have been the reason that Raquel would win, but that didn't last long. Rhea suplexed her on the damn outside and then put the trash can on her head and kicked that. That was pretty cool. But
yeah, it was.
The match was fire. The Razor's Edge that Rhea gave Raquel, that was dope. And then
it was
that shaky ass, but they pulled it off. That riptide off of that table that was perched on the top turnbuckle. That thing didn't look stable to me. But those are two big girls, but they got up there and it was beautiful. And I was like, all right, you guys have earned the week off. That match was awesome. But what were you saying? What were you about to say?
I was going to say, like, it's what I call, though, man. This match was a chance to for Raquel to show up and show out. And she definitely did just that, man.
Yeah.
And she showed that she could, like, you know, run with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? Like Rhea fucking Ripley, you know, and shout out to both of those women for putting on a dope match, man. They both look great. They put on a great show, man. And Raquel is showing that she can be a badass, bro. Like, I like when she got, you know, when Rhea got tied up in the rope and she was like, you know, going to it with a Singapore cane, man.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Bravo to those ladies. Thank you.
Yeah, that match was fun. That match was great. I was like, okay, this is my favorite match of the whole show. And I guess that feud is over for now. Because For now.
Yeah.
How old is I know Rhea is still in her 20s. How old is Raquel?
I think Raquel is young too.
Let me see, how old is Raquel?
Big, beautiful woman.
She's 34 years old. 34. So yeah, the WWE women's division is in great hands for the next 10 years.
I think also, like, sidebar, I think Raquel joining the Judgment Day kind of like helped her character too. Just the babyface role was cool, but I think her, you know, getting to the Judgment Day, it kind of like just adding a little edge to her character. So when she does, I guess, if she does, you know, no telling when, you know, go babyface again, like, she'll have a little something extra to add to the character. So it won't be so like,
hey, let me come out and flex my back muscles. Let me show off my back muscles. That's what that's what she would do all the time, right? Yeah.
It's like, come on, let's do something else.
Let's do something else.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, by the way. But yeah, showing off the back muscles. That was her thing. That was her gimmick.
It was, man.
I didn't. Okay, you got a nice back, I guess, Raquel. But when she starts,
all right, what's next?
But when she starts tossing people around, that Tahana bomb, like, yeah, she's dope.
Yep.
She is. Raquel Rodriguez is Dope. So she got a chance to shine. I think this tag team mix with her and Roxanne should be very entertaining. So I'm just going to.
Oh, it's going to be fire.
I'm just going to roll with it. I'm not going to complain whatsoever. Great match between these two. But you notice that when they wrestle in Saudi, they have to like cover their whole body up, because of their culture. And so keep in mind the Women's Royal Rumble will be in Saudi. So that's going to be like 30 of them with the most creative designs on these full body suits you've ever seen. I don't know what Bianca and Jade, what Bianca's going to do, but I'm pretty sure it's going to look crazy. Crazy in a good way, that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be fire. Bianca's outfits be fire.
Yeah, Bianca's outfits be on point. Her and Jade. Yeah. Whoever their seamstresses are. Matter of fact, I think Nick was saying that Bianca does all her own shit.
I think he's the same one.
I think Bianca does all her shit. Let me see. Bianca Belair seamstress. Yeah, she sews her own wrestling gear. That's dope.
Oh, that's fire.
That's very dope. She has a passion for DIY. There's a picture of her doing it right there. Nice. And that's a lot of work. Because she wears something different every show.
She does.
Every show. That's dope. Shout out to Bianca. So talented. All right, so great match between Rhea and Raquel. And that was Night of Champions.
Right now you're checking out the SOP.
Hip-hop and wrestling.